together in what's basically a Mexican beer commercial, talking about Ohio State's future front seven. I think we got a pretty good 3 of us here. Give us 4 more, we'd lose. What's Ohio State's front seven going to look like next year? They're losing everyone.
They're going to have, they might lose 4. So they're going to be better than people think. Here's one thing I would like people to sort of maybe take into the offseason a little bit. We did this like a month and a half ago talking about the depth chart for 2016. It's a drastic change. Ari asked Urban Meyer a question in June, and the word mass exodus has become the catchphrase that everybody uses to talk about who's leaving, because a lot of people are leaving. They have some good young players who are going to become stars. Sam Hubbard's going to be one of those guys. They're going to find somebody inside. I'm not sure who it's going to be. I think Michael Hill's the kind of guy who could emerge. You know, a guy like Jayshon Cornell, who was a huge recruit and we haven't heard anything about this year. Nick Bosa is coming in. They're going to be better up front than I think people would think when you think about Joey Bosa and Adolphus Washington leaving. And I think in the mix at linebacker, somebody like Dante Booker or Jerome Baker or someone like that is going to be the next guy, just like Darren Lee was when Ryan Shazier left. It can look desperate. I think they're going to be, if Ohio State fans maybe lower their expectations a little bit because so many guys are leaving, it's actually going to be better than you think.
Front seven.
They have a lot of linebacker prospects. So they're losing, well, I mean, we don't know for sure what Darren Lee's going to do yet. But between Jerome Baker, Justin Hilliard, and some of these other 4 or 5-star guys, I mean, they recruited the linebacker position arguably better than any other position in the country on the team, and better than any other team in the country. So I think the interior defensive line is always going to be an issue, and whenever you lose a guy who's in the conversation for number 1 overall draft pick, I mean, you can't just replace them. But like Doug said, I think that there's a lot of young talent on this team. Jayshon Cornell, I think, played both inside and out a little bit in high school. We haven't heard anything about him. You got to remember that, you know, the stables here are usually pretty deep, and maybe they're not going to match a national championship type level next year, but I think they can be, like you said, very good next year, and then the year after, then it's back to the races again.
I think the interior of the defensive line is going to be fascinating next year, and we're going to get a look, I guess, in the Fiesta Bowl. I don't know what we're going to learn. We've seen Michael Hill and Donovan Munger and Tracy Sprinkle play at times this year. I don't think they've been very good. I don't know if they've been put in positions to be good because they don't play that often, but I think we're going to see young guys maybe surpass those guys in the middle. Nick Bosa, to me, is I mean, I'm assuming he's a stud. His brother's a stud. He's gigantic.
And everybody I went, and Doug, I think you wrote a story from South Florida a few years ago when we were at the Orange Bowl. The thing that you need to know about Nick Bosa is that everybody that we've talked to, and in all the stories that we've written, they say he's more physically advanced and better than Joey was at his age. So hearing that, it's trying to hard the expectations.
And he also tore his ACL. So I think we have to temper a little bit, because as we've learned with these injuries, you know, it's always longer than you think. And so I don't know that he'll be ready to come in and grab playing time right away the same way he might have if he was 100% healthy.
I think another Robert Landers is a name that's been said a few. Like, I haven't heard Jayshon Cornell's name at all. I think I might have heard Robert Landers' name mentioned once or twice. He's big. I mean, that's all we know about him because he hasn't played, but he seems like a really beefy guy that can go in the middle. And again, I think it just goes with the theme that the guys we've seen at the interior as the backups this year, I think, might end up being surpassed when they're trying to put together a front seven next year. And the defensive tackle remains the biggest question mark. I love it here. Can I move here? Can I stay with your parents?
My parents say Dollar B is welcome at any time.
There you go. It's on video, so I'm coming to stay with you, Wassermans. For Doug, for Ari, I'm Bill. I'm moving to Phoenix. Thanks for watching.